So you came down to the dock where this crowd together watching Sean Donnelly, who was pinned helplessly.
Helplessly? How many times does she have to say helplessly?
We can't tell exactly how badly he was injured. I mean, he was talking.
But the container was like, it was balanced so that it could fall at any moment, and then the victim...
What do you mean, victim?
Isn't that right, Dan Rooney?
Well, no one could have survived if that crate had gone all the way. Mr. Donnelly was very lucky.
And this container that had disabled Mr. Donnelly.
Oh, show that woman disabled. Here. How disabled do you think I am now?
Over 700.
You know how she likes to ham things up.
No, she's just finding out new ways to stick the knife in, that's all. And it's all my fault, too. If my reflexes would have been what they were supposed to be, there wouldn't be any damn victim.
As strong as they are,
Don't beat yourself up.
Several of them tried to move it, but it wouldn't budge. That isn't until Colton tried.
Truthfully, Miss Hill, I did not lift the crate. Nobody can lift 750 pounds, let alone a scrawny little guy like me, right?
That's for sure.
Well, then what happened?
Well, as Mr. Rooney explained, the container was propped up at an angle like this, resting on another container, keeping it off of Mr. Donnelly. And all I did was just find a leverage point and ease the container up off of him so they could get him out from under it.
How do you ease up 750 pounds? I mean, where did you find this strength?
As I said, I didn't do it.
But people saw you do it. I was there. I saw you do it. What do you mean you didn't do it?
All right, you're right. I mean, I was physically the one standing there with my hands on the crate. I saw that you could use the angle of the crate to get some leverage, but there was another force doing the labor.
Another force? Would you mind explaining what you mean by another force?
Just that I was the instrument for the power that saved that man's life.
So are we talking about some mystical power, some spiritual power? Is that what you mean?
Well, ma'am, I don't think it's very mystical. I think that it's something that we all have access to. I mean, anybody could have done it.
Wait just a minute. Let us back up for just a minute, because we've got some audience which I'm sure is not going to understand this unless we clarify a few things. Are you saying that God, or a spirit, whatever, came to you and actually helped you lift that off of Mr. Donnelly?
What I'm saying, ma'am, is that I believe that we all have a spirit. And through that spirit, we can access a limitless, source of power.
The problem is that most of us, most of the time, just tune it out. We completely ignore that we have access to the power of God. And so we go through life the hard way, struggling along with our blinders on. It's like the difference between crawling on your belly through the mud or soaring above it all like an eagle.
The choice is on.
Are you hearing what I'm hearing?
Have you got a shovel because we're up to here in it?
I'm expecting a collection plate to be passed any minute.
Oh, yes, send for your prayer handkerchief. It will cure anything and everything.
Labor category.
But you were a Marine, weren't you? Did you enjoy doing that?
Yes, ma'am, I was in the Corps. As for whether I enjoyed it or not, I can honestly say that my life was drastically changed while I was in the Marines.
Well, did anything like this happen when you were in the Marines? I mean, were you out maybe someplace and you needed this strength and all of a sudden it came to you?
Actually, I would rather not talk about personal things like that, if you don't mind.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to get that personal, but I mean, people would like to know, I'm sure our audience would like to know exactly what you mean by all of this. I mean, you're a very special young man, Mr. Cole.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, that's where I'm going to have to differ with you. I'm not special. I'm no different than anybody else. I mean, anybody could have done what I did. Mr. Rooney, Mama, you, the camera crew, the audience, anybody could do what I did, and then some. You know, I talk to a lot of people, and I hear all the time about how people are powerless, and they get overwhelmed by the pressures of society, big business and big government. You can't fight City Hall, right? Wrong. You can fight City Hall, because if you don't, who will? And the way that you do that is just by accessing that power that everybody has access to, believing in it, and doing something about it. Anybody can change the world, starting today.
Well,
Like I said,
it's a very...
get that shovel, we're swimming in it.
What does Tiffany think she's doing, giving this cornpone messiah free airtime? Can't she look across the room at Lucy and know where he's coming from?
Again, I want to thank all of you for appearing with me here today. You've given us some very serious food for thought. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Until next time, this is Tiffany Hill for WLPC, your #1 station.
Well, what did you think?
I've been saved by a total moonbeam.
Scott! Come here. You talked to Steve. How did it go?
Terrific. He was terrific. I was terrific.
You're a not-so-terrific liar. What happened?
Well, when I got to Steve's office, he was on the phone with Lee. Now, I don't know what was said, but I was not recommended for the job.
Well, you two have always had your battles, but he's always welcomed you back.
Well, not anymore, Bobby.
Did you do something after you left Port Charles to turn him against you? Something you haven't told me about?
No. I've been behaving myself.
Well, I don't understand. It's not like Lee. He knows how much this job means to you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's upset because I didn't consult him first.
Do you have his phone number? I'll call him. I'd like to know what the heck is going on.
Well, that's not going to do any good. Steve has heard what he's going to hear. Besides, come on. You got a flight to catch.
Yeah, you know, I believe that, because one time my father lifted a car right up off my leg, and then later on he tried to move it, and he couldn't budge it.
I loved what you said about people being powerless.
Yeah, good going, buddy.
Excuse me, could I just get him for just a minute?
Sure.
I gotta tell you, what you did today, you really got the people going.
What do you mean?
I mean, the phones haven't stopped ringing since we started this, and I haven't seen the crew like this since the Super Bowl.
Well, I didn't say anything that special. I mean, it's just common sense to me, and a lot of other people, too.
Well, maybe, but you said it, and you know how to say it, and these other people don't know how to say it. You know, I'd really like to sit down and talk to you about this.
Well, we just did.
I mean, privately, about your future. Do you have a little time right now?
Actually, no, I don't. I have to get to work right now. And, you know, I would just kind of like to give this a couple of days to settle down and just sit with it for a while. Then you take a couple of days and think about it, and we'll get together and talk.
Good.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. By the way, I just wanted to say one more thing. Well,
Oh, is that a telegram? Yes, it is. Who's it for? Colton Short. Is that hunk over there, isn't he? Sure is. Oh, isn't this exciting?
You've got every right to be proud of your son. Not only for his heroics, but for the modest way he handles himself.
Oh, well, you know, Colton's always been very shy, but he's also always been brilliant. You know, I remember when we were little kids, we would lay out under the stars in the grass, and naturally, you remember this, watch the stars go by and talk about philosophy and wonder all about God.
I remember the lightning bugs and the mosquitoes.
Well, it's kind of clearing out over there. I'm going over and shake that young man's hand. Excuse me.
You little hypocrite. Talking philosophy. The only time you ever talked philosophy with Colton was to tell him you wished he was dead. Oh, I need to remind you that until he was Port Charles' newest thing, he was the juvenile delinquent that was hanging around your neck.
He was still my baby boy.
You know, I'm beginning to think that all this God stuff could pay off. I mean, maybe God sent Colton to improve my image at General Hospital.
Oh, really?
Really. Let's face it, Aunt Charlene, it's probably our public obligation to make everybody believe we're just one big happy family.
Have
you ever been to the ocean minster?
No, I haven't. John, what are you doing?
I'm getting up.
Aren't you supposed to be resting?
That's all I've been doing all day, sweetheart, is resting. I wanna pace. I wanna walk. I wanna exercise. I wanna move. And thank God that thing is over with.
The interview.
Yeah, I just hope that's the last we hear of this so-called miracle rescue in particular, and that damned accident in general.
It's unfortunate for you that this Colton Shore is so interesting.
Interesting.
Sean, you're still too upset to see him clearly. He's a very decent, sincere man with lots of magnetism.
Oh, really? Well, I can see that he has the motors of the female population of Port Charles humming right along.
No, it's not like that. Believe me, there are a lot of people at the old Seamen's Church that go and watch him very intently.
Well, the good news is that he doesn't seem to want to talk about what happened at the dock any more than you do. But I think we're just beginning to hear from Colton Shore.
All right. Take care. Well. Lucy. I never expected to see you here today.
Come on, Colton. You don't have to fake it. Nobody's really listening, are they? What is it you're really up to with all of this?
What do you mean, all this?
All this spirit stuff and God's strength. I mean, come on, Colton. I happen to know you quite well.
Sorry to disappoint you, Luce, but what you hear is what there is.
Okay. I can see that you're not going to admit your little con job in public here. But let me give you just a little piece of advice and a warning.
Hey, Luce, whatever you have to say, I'm tuned into because you are one smart little girl. I always listen to you.
Well, then, live your life by this, or be very, very sorry. Whatever your game is, Colton, do not screw up. Don't get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Don't cause any trouble. Do not ruin my life, do you hear me?
Bobby, the cab's here.
Coming.
Here.
Coming.
I wish I could drive you to the airport, but I got a couple of clients coming.
Oh, that's okay. Besides, I think the taxi's much better anyway.
Hey, Bill, right here. Hey, pal, the meter's going to be running. That ought to slow it down.
It sure will.
I hope I can leave these butterflies on the ground before I take off.
Oh, you're going to be okay. This time tomorrow, you'll be with Jake.
If he got my telegram, you do think he got it, don't you?
You sent it, he got it. Now, come on.
Scott, thank you.
Okay, Bobby. Good luck. Hello? Yeah, this is the Meyer residence. Who's this? The telegraph office? Yeah, that's right. There was a change. Yeah, would you read it back to me? Yeah, that's exactly right. To Mr. Meyer, that Bobby Meyer will be there next week. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, that ought to do it.